Hello. Every time I film, the boys know. They always come say hi. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome to Sustainable or Greenwashing Month, as I'd like to call it, where I'm just talking greenwashing because we need to know a little bit more about these brands out there that say they're one thing and turn out that they're actually doing something completely different. So today we are covering specifically cleaning brands. These are very popular cleaning brands that I get on TikTok and Instagram as requests to do for my short form series of Is It Sustainable or Is It Greenwashing? If you have not seen that, check it out, of course. Here are the brands we are covering today. Let me run you through how it's gonna work. It's gonna be similar to my last video, which I did focused on shampoo and conditioner bars. We've got the ranking system. We have S tier, like my holy grails. I will repurchase them over and over again. They are the brands that I usually will recommend whenever somebody asks me, what brands do you recommend? Those are the ones that usually I say. We've got A tier, which means that I really like these brands, but maybe they're not like holy grail. Maybe if I had the opportunity to buy a brand from the S brand, I would probably opt for that over the A brand, but still like a good brand if you are still on the hunt for a cleaning brand to use. B tier is going to be 50-50. You know, maybe I would if I saw it in my grocery store and needed a laundry detergent at that time, maybe I would go for it. Or you know what? Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I would pick another brand. It's a 50-50, you know. They're sustainable-ish, but they're not great. C tier is going to be brands that, you know, I just don't think I'm going to buy from them. I personally wouldn't. So we'll throw them into the C tier. And then F tier is absolutely greenwashing. I would not touch it with a 10-foot pole. All right, I'm itching to get right into it. We've got 8 brands to cover. Let's hop on in. But first, if you're new here, my name is Crystalline. You can call me Chris, and we chat all things mind, body, and planet on this corner of the internet. So I hope you stick around. Because I always get asked, here is kind of my criteria for my research. I always like to start knowing how a company is founded. Sometimes that can be a telltale sign if it was created as a money cash grab or if it was actually started to be like a good product in the space. Then we're going to talk about ingredients. We're going to talk about certifications that the brand may or may not have. We'll talk transparency, manufacturing, labor, and then also I like to throw in my personal preference. All of these brands we're covering today, I have used, so I can give you my personal opinion on them. So let's get into it. The biggest brand that I see when I look up a sustainable brand is Blueland. So let's do them first. Blueland was founded in 2019. You may have heard of them from Shark Tank. I feel like that's like their big marketing push that I see on social media. They got a deal with Mr. Wonderful. And the goal of the brand was to create cleaning products without the plastic waste. Blueland is a certified B Corp. They are gluten-free and paraben-free. They are also vegan. They're Leaping Bunny cruelty-free. Plus, every ingredient is on the EPA safer chemical ingredient list, so that's always a good sign. They are cradle to cradle certified. That is a hard certification to find out there. It's a very intensive certification, so it's really impressive when I see a brand that has the cradle to cradle certification. They are climate neutral as well as USDA bio preferred, which means the ingredients are biodegradable. Usually this certification will show a percentage as well, so it'll show you what percentage of that product is biodegradable. And of course, the packaging is mostly plastic free and everything can be industrially composted. Also, the dish soap, the dishwasher tabs, and the laundry tabs are all EWG verified. I will say the spray bottles, when you purchase them from the website, they look glass, but they're actually an acrylic plastic. So I don't love that. I actually used this brand and all of my bottles broke, specifically the sprayer on the bottle. So it kind of made me feel like, okay, why? Like I would just rather use my own bottle, but that's an easy workaround, right? Like you can buy the products and just refill your own bottles. So I would recommend that. For labor, they have fair working conditions and employee time off for civic engagement. Their key manufacturing partner uses 100% renewable energy via renewable energy certificates. In 2023, they started selling in more accessible stores like Target, Costco, and Whole Foods. So that's pretty cool because now when I'm grocery shopping, I can actually easily pick up the brand rather than having to order it online, which for many of us, ordering something online is just, you know, not the same as being able to just pick it up on your next grocery store visit. Okay, so I actually research Blueland every single year for my sustainable or greenwashing short form video series, and every year I find more information. They're super transparent with what they do. I love how they market themselves to be eco-friendly, and they actually back it up. They've got the certifications to prove what they're doing and the information available for anyone to get. I am going to put Blueland in my S tier. I think they are S tier worthy. Personal experience with the brand, everything works very well. They are mostly fragrance free. So I personally like a laundry detergent with a fragrance. So I decided to switch to another one, which I will get into which one I usually use. But their cleaning products I felt like worked really well. I feel like they lasted a long time. And then I really love how it's essentially a zero waste product. You can compost or recycle the paper packaging that most of everything comes in. So I feel like that I really like. I like that about the brand. So they are S tier for me. They're doing everything they need to be doing. They have the information and the certifications to back up what they're doing. So with all of that, yes, S tier. I'm gonna give them S tier. Moving on to Method. This is another popular one. Method was founded in 2001 by two men who wanted cleaner, greener ingredients in their cleaning products. And it was bought by the S.C. Johnson Company in 2017. Their products are paraben-free and phthalate-free. They're also Leaping Bunny cruelty-free international, and any palm oil they use is RSPO certified. Their clear plastic packaging is being transitioned into 100% post-consumer recycled plastic packaging. So that's always cool to see, because for a lot of companies, using a recycled material is better than using like a virgin glass or a virgin aluminum product. So it's kind of neat to see. There's a lot of plastic on the earth. Nice to know that it can be recycled, and companies are using that recycled plastic. Okay, something from their website. Not only 100% recycled plastic, but their initiative right now is to change it to 100% recycled coastal plastic. And they are doing that through S.E. Johnson's partnership with the Plastic Bank. I also like how they offer concentrates and refills to help reduce your plastic waste. I couldn't find too much around labor and manufacturing. I did find that they buy renewable energy credits for all of their offices as well as their manufacturing site, including a LEED Platinum certified factory that they operate. Okay, so I obviously have to mention Method was sued in 2021 for greenwashing. They said that their products were non-toxic and natural, when in fact they did have ingredients that are considered toxic and not natural. But since they have made a lot of changes, I've been reviewing this brand for at least 3 years now, and I do see updates on their website that have kind of changed the way that they're marketing their brand. So now it's less greenwashy than it used to be. Honestly, this brand is doing a lot of things that I wish other larger brands would do. So I think that's something to give them a little bit of credit for. They have third-party certifications, easy to access information, ingredient transparency as well. So, maybe I would pick it up if I was in the store and wanted to pick up one of their refill concentrates next time I needed something. So I am going to put Method in the B tier. It's 50-50 for me. I feel like they've gotten a little bit better, and I want to see more. I want to see more from them in the future. So I'll be on the lookout for that next year, and keep on updating you guys on what I find. As far as personal use of Method products, they have a couple of things that I do think are worth buying. They've got a granite cleaner that smells like apples. It's so nice. And when I do use Method products, I do feel like they clean well. The hand soap, of course, also smells good and works well as well. But again, I think there's some other brands that I think work a little bit better and are a little bit more eco. So might go for them instead, which is why Method is in the B tier. Next up, Mrs. Meyer's. Now, I am so surprised by Mrs. Meyer's. I used to pretty much exclusively use this brand. In my opinion, I thought the scents were really nice. I was like, oh, it has to be an eco-friendly, it has to be a good, sustainable brand to support. There's flowers literally all over the packaging, and it's Mrs. Meyer's Clean Day, right? So it's like, oh, it must be clean ingredients because that's part of their name. Unfortunately, I found some information about Mrs. Meyer's that I was surprised. I was surprised to see. And again, this is a brand that I have been looking into for the last 3 years at least, and not a lot of movement has changed. So Mrs. Meyer's was founded in 2001 to make cleaning supplies smell good. It was bought by the S.E. Johnson Company. They are Leaping Bunny cruelty free. They use RSPO certified palm oil. Any of their down the drain products meet the European OECD standards for biodegradability. Some, but not all of their products are made in a LEED certified facility. They have a compassion line, which you may recognize from the signature like design and coloring of the bottle, that does go to initiatives that support turning vacant lots into green spaces. So that's pretty cool. They've got a little bit of community work that they focus on with their brand. They offer concentrates and refills, which I always like to see with a brand because it helps reduce your plastic waste. But I really wasn't able to find too much on labeling and manufacturing as well as ingredient sourcing. When you go to their sustainability page, they have some bullet points of the things that I just read to you guys, but it's really not enough for me. However, this website has been updated since the last time I reviewed Mrs. Meyer's with those bullet points. So, I mean, that is progress, right? Like it's a little bit better. They're trying to put all of their sustainability information in one easy access, easy to find spot for people to learn about. The other community-driven work that they do is they partner with the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, which helps remove plastic from the ocean. So Mrs. Meyer's obviously smells very good, and it was based around a grandma who loved to garden. So that's why all the scents are very garden scented, basil, peony, rose, things like that. But I wouldn't really call it like a sustainable brand. So for me, I'm going to put Mrs. Meyer's in like the C category. It's something I probably wouldn't buy. I just feel like when I'm shopping, there's another brand I probably like a little bit more. They do clean well, but there's other brands out there that I think clean just as good. So C tier for me. Moving on to Everspring. Everspring is a Target exclusive brand, and it was launched on Earth Day in 2019. They are certified USDA bio-based. Love to see that. However, I have a problem with a lot of their packaging icons. They're not actual certifications. They kind of look like a little logo, like a little certification on them, but they're totally made up, especially their cruelty-free logo. That one always gets me. Like, there's so many third-party cruelty-free certifications you can get out there. There's PETA, there's Leaping Bunny cruelty-free, and there's different like variations of each one that you can get. So I feel like for a large-scale brand, it doesn't make sense for me for you to not have a cruelty-free certification, because at this point, you're a Target exclusive brand. You probably have the money and the resources to get that certification. So why haven't you gotten it yet? I think Everspring is an interesting brand because they do have a lot of products that are a step in the right direction. The packaging is mostly plastic, but they say the bottles and the sprayers are recyclable, and most of it is made with post-consumer recycled plastic. So that's always a good step to see as well. Again, with this brand, I was not able to find much information on manufacturing and labor practices. So that's, gonna dock them a little bit in my scoring system here. And Everspring I have used before, and it's a 50-50 brand for me. It just kind of depends on where and when. If I would pick up this brand, it wouldn't be my first choice, but if it was on sale, maybe I would pick it up. So for me, Everspring is in the B tier. It's 50-50. I think for many people, Everspring is a good brand when you're just starting to make these switches, and it's accessible because it is in Target and many people have Targets close by or near to them. It also seems to be affordable. So there's that too. Okay, let's talk Grove Collaborative. Grove was founded as an online marketplace to sell more eco and sustainable products, but has since launched their own line of cleaning products. Grove is a B Corp. They are carbon neutral. They are also certified plastic neutral. They are an EPA Safer Choice partner, Leaping Bunny cruelty free, paraben and phthalate free. They don't use any synthetic fragrances, and their core cleaning products are all USDA bio-based preferred. A lot of great third-party certifications that they have, which is always a good sign. They work with companies like Beyond Plastic, Nature Conservatory, and the Arbor Day Foundation to give back to communities as well as remove plastic from our oceans. They have some information on their website that they do regular auditing of their manufacturing facilities to make sure that they are in good working conditions and that they are providing fair wages to their employees. So that's always good to hear as well. And their goal is to be net zero by 2030. That's impressive in only 5 years from now, and they've made so many strides in the last 5 years leading up to this. So I am pretty confident that they're going to be close or reach that goal by 2030, if not beforehand. But that's a personal opinion. Gotta disclose that. Another thing that I freaking loved about Grove is that they have a very easy to access sustainability report as well as a plastic scorecard. When companies offer these impact reports that make it really easy for consumers to learn more about the brand, that's like my number one sign that they're trying. They are putting work in to make this information available for people, because I really think if a company is doing great work and they know they're doing great work, They want other people to know as well. So if a company's saying, "Oh, I'm doing great work," but they don't actually have an impact report, I'm kind of like, well, like, why not? Like, what? Why not share with the people? The people want to know. So that's cool. Grove products, as far as personal preference and my personal use of Grove products, they've always kind of been my preference. I'll be honest, I love their dish soap because it is plastic free. It comes in an aluminum can, so I can recycle it afterwards. Aluminum is probably my favorite packaging. All of their sprays that I've used and concentrates that I've used from Grove have also worked really well, and they smell nice, make my home feel fresh and clean. And they have all the certifications that I look for in a brand to see if it's actually doing what it says it's doing. Now, there are other brands on the Grove Collaborative website that maybe I wouldn't purchase. For example, last time I checked, they offered Mrs. Meyer's on their website. And, we've already covered that's probably a brand I wouldn't buy. However, for Grove specific products that they offer, their core cleaning products, I'm going to put them in S tier. I was going to put them in A tier, but now that I've just read through everything, I'm like, you know what? Maybe they're S tier because I really like Grove and I like how it's accessible as well. You can buy them in Target. So Grove is S tier. Dr. Bronner's. Dr. Bronner's is a Castile soap, which is essentially a soap that you can use on anything and everything. They've been around for forever. Yeah, I just looked it up. Dr. Bronner's soap was founded in 1948. So they've been around the block for a while. They've been doing this thing. Dr. Bronner's uses 100% post-consumer recycled plastic in all of their packaging. The soap is biodegradable. Also pretty freaking cool. My favorite quote that I read on the Dr. Bronner's website is that they say that we are responsible for ourselves, but also each other. And as we grow, we must grow responsibly. Ain't that the truth? Okay, but getting into certifications, Dr. Bronner's is a B Corp. They use organic ingredients. They are fair trade certified. They are EWG verified. And they are leaping bunny cruelty free. They have an easy to access impact report, which you guys know I love to see. And they have a lot of information on their website regarding fair wages, manufacturing practices, good working conditions. And I also read that they are working on having a regenerative organic certification for all of their products. So far, only the coconut oil has that certification, but they're working on it for everything. And that's incredible. That's above and beyond an organic certification. That's going regenerative. And if you don't know what regenerative means, it means that what you are taking, you are also putting back in. So more of like a closed loop cycle of your sourcing for ingredients and manufacturing and all the things. I also like how Dr. Bronner's offers a completely plastic-free option in a bar form. So that's pretty freaking cool that they offer that as well. Dr. Bronner's has been around for a long time. It is a cult classic, a cult favorite. A lot of people love them. I love Dr. Bronner's. I use them for things around my house like cleaning the baseboards, wiping down my cabinets, things like that. However, it's not a brand that I usually reach for when I'm doing more like countertops because I do feel like it has a tendency to maybe leave like a little bit of residue because it's Castile soap, and then you have to wipe it down again just with water afterwards in order to get that feeling off. And I don't personally love cleaning with that feeling on countertops where I'm like putting my food or, putting my skincare line, things like that. So, personal preference is that yes, I actually have a huge bottle of the lavender scented one under my kitchen sink right now. And I do love it, but I have like certain places that I prefer to use it in my house. So I have to say, Dr. Bronner's is also an S tier. This is so exciting. I feel like when you think about cleaning brands, a lot of times you are disappointed by actually the ingredients or the sourcing or the manufacturing or just, the sustainability initiatives that these brands have. And it's exciting to me that there actually are some really, really great sustainable brands out there that have great products that are actually doing the things that they're talking about. They're not just lying to us or greenwashing us. So it's fun to see a lot of S tier products in this video. Two more brands to cover. Next up is Seventh Generation. Seventh Generation is a well-known household cleaning products brand. They are owned by Unilever, but it was originally founded as a mail order catalog that focused on products that were water reducing, resource reducing, and energy reducing cleaning products. The name Seventh Generation is inspired by this quote, which I believe comes from a Native American tribe. So some people have issues with that, but I like the quote a lot. I think it's really powerful. In every deliberation, we must must consider the impact of our decisions on the next 7 generations. That's a beautiful way to look at it. Every decision impacts not just us, but a lot of people in the future as well, especially when you are a mega corporation like Seventh Generation. Okay, so Seventh Generation is a B Corp. They are also an EPA Safer Choice partner. They are USDA bio-based preferred. They are FSC certified and Leaping Bunny cruelty free. I like that they have ingredient disclosure for all of their products. Always kind of interesting to see why they use certain ingredients for what. For the packaging, it is mostly plastic, but most of it is post-consumer recycled plastic packaging. They also have some information on their website that they are committed to paying all of their workers throughout their supply chain a living wage. And they also have an easy to access corporate consciousness report. Now, the most recent one, I believe, is from 2023. So maybe soon we'll have a 2024 one, but that does mean that they have multiple years that you can look back and see kind of their progress on their impact. I also like how they work with several nonprofits to give back to communities. So with all that being said, I know that Seventh Generation is owned by Unilever, so a lot of people may not want to shop this brand just because it is owned by a larger corporation. However, the brand Seventh Generation does have a lot of what I look for in a more sustainable brand. So for me, I'm going to put Seventh Generation in the A tier. You know, before I mentioned that there are other laundry detergents I like to use, I like the concentrate. I really like the Seventh Generation concentrate. I feel like it really cleans clothes well and leaves a little bit of a scent without it being too overpowering. And the concentrate version of it feels like it lasts a long time without having as much plastic waste as if I bought like a giant gallon jug. So yeah, for me, my opinion, I think Seventh Generation is in the A tier. I like what they're doing, and I look forward to seeing what they continue to accomplish in the future. Last but not least, Branch Basics. Another one I get so many requests for. So this was my first year covering Branch Basics, and I need y'all to buckle in, because Branch Basics was really, that was something. I wish I filmed myself researching this brand. I think my jaw dropped a couple of times. So Branch Basics was founded in 2012 by 3 moms who wanted to make safer, more natural cleaning products. Their products are Leaping Bunny cruelty free. They are paraben and phthalate free. They're also Made Safe certified. This is the only brand on that list that has the Made Safe certification. Their products are also 100% biodegradable, but also note I did not see a certification for being biodegradable, so we kind of have to just like take that for what it's worth. Several of their products are EWG verified, and everything they offer is fragrance free, so you don't have to worry about any sort of fragrances if that's something that bothers you. I like how they offer concentrates in order to reduce your plastic consumption, but I will say their refill packs, I don't understand why they're in plastic when you could put them in more of a paper packaging. For example, their tablets could definitely come in a more paper, recyclable, or compostable packaging, but that's just my opinion. However, their tablets are cool because they don't have that PVA, which is polyvinyl alcohol. It's technically a plastic that is the coating of a pod. I'll throw a picture up here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. That like clear lining on a pod, that is PVA. And there has been some research specifically by Blueland that talks about how PVA, even though it is water soluble, it does not fully get filtered out from our water system, or it just kind of collects with other PVAs that have been used and kind of clumps at the bottom of your wastewater treatment facility, and then they scrape it up and then throw it away. So there's a little discourse on PVA and whether or not we should be using it. So I like how their tablets do not have that PVA coating. So I could not find any information on manufacturing, labor, or any community work that they do. However, I was able to find that they offer a course for $100 on how to get toxins out of your home. And I thought that was interesting for a brand that is trying to make clean living, non-toxic living more accessible. It's weird that they're charging $100 for essentially a set of long form videos, like YouTube videos, that just say why you should be living more non-toxic and what ingredients to get rid of. So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. Makes me feel a little weird. I also found some messaging with this brand to be pretty problematic. If you look into the founder's story, they are not doctors. They are not really, they don't have a PhD in any chemical cleaning related thing. It is just 3 women who believe that by reducing the toxins, and I put quotes around that, in their house and eating more organic and wearing natural fiber clothing has cured their chronic illnesses and cured their hormonal imbalances and things like that. And I don't love that. I think it's really problematic when we get that kind of messaging and that sort of claim from brands specifically. And, even if you argue it's not the brand that's saying it's curing that, but if you read the testimonials, that is what they're saying. Living a non toxic life is what caused them to be healthier at the end of the day. I just don't like that. Maybe I would like it a little bit more if they were a doctor, but they're not. The main woman who founded the company, it just says, "I'm not a doctor," is like one of the first lines. Well, if you're not a doctor, why are you making medical claims? I don't like that. I don't like it. But a lot of people really love Branch Basics. If you look through the testimonials from customers, they are also saying similar stuff. I do have a bottle of Branch Basics. It was sent to me as a gift. Do I feel like it cleans? Sure, but I do feel like it leaves a little bit of residue left on my counters, and I don't love that either. So for me, I have to put Branch Basics in the F tier. I cannot stand that sort of marketing messaging. I think it can be pretty harmful because a lot of people may switch to Branch Basics in an effort to cure chronic illness instead of seeking like an actual professional medical professional's help. And I think that's really harmful. I am all for living more natural, more non-toxic, clean ingredients, eating organic. I like that stuff. I try to do that as much as I can. But when a company starts to tell you that by switching to this brand that you could cure your allergies, that's where things get a little fishy for me. So they're in the F tier. Sorry if you love them. If you know more information, let me know in the comments because I would love to know more. It's just that was fascinating to me when I was researching. My jaw literally dropped. I think I screamed a little bit. The scream that I scrumped when I was researching it. That was interesting. I was not expecting that for Branch Basics because it does seem very popular. That is all of the brands for this video. What did you think? Do you agree with my ratings? Do you think things should be switched around? I'm curious to know. These videos are very long and kind of intensive, so thank you for sticking around. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. You can like this video and follow for more. I'm thankful for each and every single one of you guys for being here. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!